Chapter 7, Section 2, pages 212 and 213. Sparta and Athens at war. We've already mentioned the Delian League, the United Nations of Greece, that the treasury has now been moved to Athens. The City of Athens is demanding payments directly from all of the city-states. They're not even pretending that it's a Delian League treasury anymore. They're just saying, you know what, pay us and we'll protect you. Well, like I mentioned, those other city-states were getting kind of fed up with it. It was no longer that Athens was the protector. Now Athens was kind of being like a bully. It was no longer, hey, if you help me buy the best weapons, then we can protect you even better. It became the bully that said, give me your lunch money so I don't beat you up. And the other city-states were not real happy with that. And so they started looking for someone to help them. And they settled on Sparta, that other great, strong city-state. And so they looked to Sparta to help them out. They aligned themselves with Sparta, and the Peloponnesian War began. It was a conflict between Athens and Sparta. It lasted 27 years. Athens was kind of like that team that you love to hate, like Yankees baseball or maybe Alabama football, that you either are all in with them or you hate them. And they were really good, and so they tended to always be right there at the top. So you have Sparta on one side. They're protected because they're inland and they're difficult to reach. They live out in the middle of the Peloponnesian Peninsula. They have a professional full-time army. That army is tough. They're brave. They're courageous. They are well trained. And they do not give up. On the other side, you have Athens. Athens was rich and they were powerful. They had the best weapons. They had a great navy. They had a great port. But that made them a little bit vulnerable because that means that they were close to the Aegean Sea. And so someone else who had a strong navy might possibly be able to attack. So here's what Sparta ends up doing. They fight for many, many years. Even Sparta needs help. And who do they look to for more help? They talk to Persia. The empire that they had fought off with Athens years before. Well, Persia doesn't look like nearly as much of a threat anymore. And so they get help from Persia. And of course, Persia is all but too happy to help out. Yeah, we'd love to come over and give you some help. And so Sparta attacks Athens. Pericles calls for the people out in the countryside around Athens to come inside the city walls so that they're all protected. Sparta creates a blockade on land all the way around the city. The Athenians are stuck inside. They get Persia to bring their ships into the Athenian port and blockade the port so that nothing can come through by way of water. Naturally, supplies run low. Just as the blockade is being set, some people start to get sick inside of Athens. The sickness extends throughout the city. Thousands of people get sick. Thousands of people die. They're stuck inside with no supplies, food's running low, and people are sick and dying all over the place. Athens has no choice but to surrender. They couldn't recover from the result of those losses from the plague. and there was just nothing more they could do. They finally just had to give up. So those words you might not have known: plague, widespread disease, and blockade, an action that an army or a navy will take to isolate an enemy. They want to cut off their supplies.